When we talk about international trade, it's usually merchandise trade, the shipment of physical goods across borders. But the UK exports far more services than goods, and it's a large and growing portion of global trade. Here's why. Services can be traded either directly or indirectly as inputs into goods. For a direct exchange, 1. A consumer may go abroad to purchase tourism or medical services. Or 2. A firm such as a bank may establish a subsidiary abroad to serve local customers. Or 3. A service professional, such as an aircraft engineer, may service a plane abroad. And 4. After decades of digitization, many services can now be delivered electronically across borders, such as online education or architectural blueprints. Across these 4 methods, the UK exported £945 billion worth of services in 2019. This is about 2.5 times as much as the value of goods exports, £373 billion. At the same time as services can increasingly be traded directly, we live in a world in which products are assembled from a range of inputs. These inputs could be goods or services, and likely both in most instances. For instance, a smartphone requires a range of electronic components, a case and a screen, all of which are goods. However, its value derives from services such as research and development, design, logistics, distribution, branding, and marketing. When the smartphone is then sold internationally, all services therein are also traded indirectly as embodied inputs. This particular exchange is known as Mode 5 services trade because it constitutes an additional channel of trading services beyond the 4 direct modes. In the UK, nearly 40% of the value of manufacturing exports consist of services inputs. The fact that part of the measured value of goods trade represents services has far-reaching implications for trade policy. For instance, free trade agreements typically contain chapters that directly affect the exchange of services via provisions for cross-border trade, by facilitating the temporary entry of business visitors or by recognizing professional qualifications. There are also chapters that facilitate goods trade, and these additionally affect the indirect mode of services trade. Depending on the change in conditions in the trade agreement, goods producers will demand more or fewer services that go into their products. The EU-UK Trade and Cooperation Agreement, for instance, rendered goods trade more costly because trading conditions are less favourable compared to the single market. Our simulations suggest that agricultural and manufacturing sectors will require some £2.3 billion less services inputs because of the associated fall in goods trade. So, in designing trade policy and agreements, governments should recognise the important link between services and goods instead of thinking about them separately. In summary, if all the different ways of trading services are considered jointly, the value of UK services exports actually exceeds that of goods exports, meaning services trade is of considerable significance for the UK economy.